Several students of Jadavpur University have so far maintained that the university authorities should be held accountable and they should be asked questions after questions. We did ask them several questions in the past. Today, we want to hold them accountable. How? On the basis of their own communication between UGC and Jadavpur University, things which are there in black and white. UGC, under UGC's affiliation is Jadavpur University, and UGC has given certain directives, guidelines which every university has to follow ditto. There is no if and but. There are no leeways. You have to follow each and every directive. Did Jadavpur University do that vis-a-vis as far as anti-ragging squad, anti-ragging cell, and having a vigilance, a stronger one over alleged incidents of ragging, so that such incidents never happen inside the university campus or other outside? That's the question which has now been asked to the university authorities. Now today we want to refer to something black and white. No if and but, only black and white. Letters after letters. Communication between UGC and Jadavpur University would be shown first time on News the Truth, and we would be holding the university accountable. Let's first refer to the letter dated 13th of August 2023. This is the first letter that UGC has given to Jadavpur University. What does it say? Ragging complaint number WB_0157, the Jadavpur University. It says the anti-ragging helpline at the University Grants Commission, New Delhi, has suo-moto registered the above complaint on the basis of a news media report. A copy of the media report is enclosed. The complaint was later escalated and subsequently forwarded to the higher authorities of the university. The Dean of the University, Professor Rajat Roy, confirmed its receiving when he was contacted by the anti-ragging helpline on August 11, 2023. Why did UGC have to take suo-moto cognizance of an incident which has happened on 10th of August, and that too on the basis of a media report? The answer is because Jadavpur University never cared to inform the UGC. And this is not what I am saying. This is what UGC is saying. The third point, it is a matter of grave concern that the university has not reported as well as updated the anti-ragging helpline on such a sensitive matter, which means Jadavpur University between 10th of August and 13th of August, when this communication was sent, they did not send any information to UGC. They did not ring up the helpline number of the anti-ragging cell of UGC. They did not care to inform UGC. Question is why? Did they take the matter very lightly? Did they think that UGC will not intervene? Or did they think life of one minor did not matter? That's the first question that Jadavpur University would be asked. This is the first letter that UGC has sent to Jadavpur University. Did Jadavpur University respond to this? The answer is yes. Titash, over to you. Did Jadavpur University respond to that letter?
Yes, Jadavpur University sent a counter correspondence on the 14th. This says that this is in reference about the letter, the ragging complaint number WB0157, the Jadavpur University. In this regard, I am directed, I am enclosing herewith the detailed report on the incident and the action taken so far for your kind pursuit.
You know, I just want to show you, this is the letter that Jadavpur University sent. We are showing it for the first time. This is the letter that Jadavpur University has sent. The date is 14th of August 2023. As I said, it's all black and white. It's all black and white. Here, 14th of August 2023, Jadavpur Vishwavidyalaya, Jadavpur University, dated 14th of August, ragging complaint number so and so, the Jadavpur University, that's the subject, and this is the response that Jadavpur University has given to the UGC. Over to you.
So, the correspondence which was sent on behalf of Jadavpur University states, at the outset, this is to inform that Jadavpur University takes necessary steps to stop ragging in the campus and hostel premises, including awareness, generation against ragging through advertisements in the form of hoardings, banners, posters, leaflets, booklets, etc. As and when Jadavpur University got the information about the incident at the A1/A2 block of the main hostel, necessary and urgent actions had been taken for the best possible treatment of the deceased student at the KPC Medical College. The university was further ready with medical logistic arrangements to transfer the student to the best hospital, SSKM Trauma Center in Kolkata, as and when the doctors recommended. However, in spite of all the efforts, the university could not save the life of the deceased student. The university has taken it on a serious note with the following actions.
And now, here comes the most important part. The university is now trying to highlight as what all actions they have taken, and this in response to UGC. Number one, the university immediately constituted an internal committee on 10th of August 2023 to investigate the incident as well as to find out the culprit. Internal committee is headed by the Dean Faculty Council of Science and also has other members including members from Anti-Ragging Squad and Anti-Ragging Committee. Number two, the university lodged a complaint to the Jadavpur police station on 10th of August 2023. Subsequently, the police started investigating the incident. Number three, all the freshers of the hostel of the deceased student, that is block A2, along with other freshers of the main hostel campus, have been immediately shifted to another hostel, New Boys Hostel, for their comfort. On 10th of August 2023, the teachers of the university visited the deceased students' hostel and met the boarders of the hostel. On 11th of August 2023, the teachers of the university visited the New Boys Hostel to meet the freshers and made them understand the university is with them for their better treatment. What's point number 6, Titash?
Okay, so the university has also claimed that extra security has been posted at the New Boys Hostel, where freshers have been housed to take utmost care. Point number 7 says, on 12th August 2023, university officers, teachers and the Pro-Vice Chancellor visited the New Boys Hostel boarders, including freshers, to review the comfort and security of the boarders and the infrastructure of the hospital. Point number 8, on 13th August 2023, psychological counseling support has been provided to the boarders of the UG1 first year. The 9th point states, the internal committee started its investigation process on and from 11th August, and a prima facie report on the incident is expected shortly.
And it also refers in the 10th point that the 3 people have been arrested. Well, because the response was given on 14th of August, it is not updated because there are 12 people who have been arrested in connection with the death of the minor. But here the mentions are of 3 names, which is Saurav Chaudhary, Deep Shekhar Datta and Monotosh Ghosh. Now, let's start asking questions to the university authorities. Once we went through the actions taken by the university authorities, what's your first impression? My first impression is that this is nothing but an afterthought. After somebody has died, you have reacted to that incident. You have reacted to the situation. What did you do to ensure nobody dies? Zero mention of the actions taken. And that's exactly what UGC also felt. UGC feels that the response was reactive, as the actions that they have taken as a reaction to the death, and not enough they had done to prevent a situation, to avert a situation. And there lies question number 1. Was the university authority sleeping? What were they doing? They took it for granted that nobody would be ragged. And even if somebody is ragged, doesn't matter. Because as long as people don't die, it won't qualify for a news, because they have a very strong union. Students would show absolute solidarity with their student community, and no one would dare to comment or let things leak out to the outside world. So things happening inside the hostel or inside the university campus, nobody gets to know. Shh, nobody gets to know. And thus the university authorities were certain that even if something happens, even if there is a ragging incident, nobody would get to know. Because they also couldn't realize there could be a death happening because of their callousness. Callousness. Question number 1. Did the university authorities keep a strong vigil on the hostel? You don't have a CCTV camera inside. You do not have CCTV cameras inside the university campus. So how did you keep a strong vigil? Did you keep a strong vigil by staying mute? A spectator? Did you keep a strong vigil by shutting your eyes? How did you maintain a record as whether people from outside had access inside the hostel premises? How did you maintain a register as whether boarders who were then inside the hostel belonged to the current batch or not? If your response, if the university thinks they have done everything needful, they maintained a record, Did they not know that they were outsiders, former students who were actually lodging inside the hostel? If yes, what did the university do? Did the university pick up the phone and call our police? Look, there are outsiders inside the university hostel. They're outsiders, they're former students, and I fear that my freshers could be ragged, could be manhandled, and most importantly, these people have got no business being there inside the university hostel, yet they're occupying illegally. Did the university inform the police? The university authorities will have to answer these legitimate questions.
After UGC had taken suo-moto cognizance of the case that had happened, Jadavpur University sent a letter to UGC dated 14th August. Now UGC had sent a reply dated August 16th, 2023. They have stated that the letter which was sent by Jadavpur University, they have found it to be very generic in nature, basically mentioning therein mostly the reactive approaches adopted in the matter rather than the proactive measures taken to curb the menace of ragging, and therefore the commission is not satisfied with the report that was submitted to them. So then UGC further asked Jadavpur University to submit a few documents in compliance with the guidelines which were previously published by UGC. So, the guidelines which were published by the UGC was for curbing the menace of ragging in higher educational institutions, and they wanted to check that if these documents or if the steps taken by the university are in compliance with the guidelines which were previously released by them.
So basically UGC had thereafter asked specific questions and said, Jadavpur University, enough is enough. We wanted your report. You have not given me a concrete response. So here are a set of questions. The questions have to be responded in specifics, so that UGC gets to understand whether actions taken by Jadavpur University were in compliance with the directives and guidelines issued by UGC. What you'll do is, you will ask the question that has been volleyed by UGC, and I would then let you know how Jadavpur University has responded, because this is the response of Jadavpur University, okay, dated 17th of August 2023. So on 16th of August 2023, the UGC had sent a letter to Jadavpur University, to which Jadavpur University has then responded on 17th of August 2023. Again, see, Jadavpur University to Professor Manish R. Joshi, Secretary, University Grants Commission, and it is basis of the same complaint. Now here is what University had to respond to those specific questions, and before we get to the response, it says that with reference to your letter so and so dated 16th of August sent to me through your email concerning the subject as cited above, the following information along with well supported concrete documentary evidences towards adoption of proactive measures taken by Jadavpur University in compliance with UGC regulations to curb the menace. So basically Jadavpur University is of the opinion that they have adopted proactive measures countering UGC, that their response was not reactive. And here comes the justification of Jadavpur University. Okay. First question.
So the first question that UGC asked was, are telephone numbers of anti-ragging helpline and important functionaries of the institute responsible to curb ragging printed on your brochure of admission / instruction booklet in print or electronic form? Attach copies.
Jadavpur University says the telephone numbers of anti-ragging helpline and important functionaries of the university responsible to curb ragging printed as booklet, namely UGC regulations on curbing the menace of ragging in higher educational institutions 2009, and you and your university distributed among the fresh undergraduate first year students during their admission in the university, jointly referred as Annexure 1 and 1A, which means university is saying that they had given a booklet containing phone numbers so that if somebody in distress can dial those helpline numbers. Okay.
Copy of leaflet given to students giving out details and telephone number of anti-ragging helpline, head of institution, warden, anti-ragging committee, anti-ragging squad and police officials.
To which Jadavpur University has once again given an affirmative response. They're saying that all these things were done. Copy of leaflets given to undergraduate first year students during admission, which also apparently had phone numbers of police officials. Now this I find very surprising. If this number, police official number, was actually there with the 17-year-old minor who is no longer with us, why didn't he dial those numbers?
The third question being, Does your institute get a copy of the affidavit signed by the applicant wherein it is clearly mentioned that he or she understands the provisions of the regulations and the punishment prescribed? Attached copies.
So thereafter, Jadavpur University has said that a copy of an affidavit signed by the applicant wherein it is clearly mentioned that he understands the provision of the regulations and punishment prescribed, and thereafter it has also highlighted that how, just blocking the name of the deceased student, how the deceased student had also signed an affidavit giving out the undertaking that he has understood as what it means to be ragged and that no one should rag him and what he should be doing if he gets ragged. And similarly, an undertaking was also taken from the parents, right?
Yes.
From the parents of the deceased, as is the procedure of Jadavpur University. That's what Jadavpur University is claiming.
So, it is important to note that the 12th question which was asked by the UGC says, do you conduct any surveys amongst the freshers every fortnight during the first 3 months of the academic session to verify incidents of ragging? Attach details.
Okay, so here is the response of Jadavpur University, point number 12. It says, no stipulated schedule to conduct any surveys every fortnight during the first 3 months of the academic session to verify incidents of ragging amongst the fresher students of undergraduate 2023-24 session has yet been finalized by the university authority, which means that they had not conducted a single survey till 10th of August. When did the session start, Titash? I believe that was the first week.
A couple of days before the incident happened.
So imagine, couple of days before the undergraduate first year student had passed away, had died allegedly because he was ragged to death, the university authorities did not do a survey as was expected from them to figure out if anyone is vulnerable or if there is a potential threat. Why didn't they do that on the first day of the orientation? Why didn't they do it on the first day of the class? Why didn't they do it after knowing that these many freshers have already gone to the hostel and they are now boarders? Why didn't they go to the hostel to check as how many freshers are actually staying? And I repeat my question once again. Did they do the survey first thing first to understand at that very ill-fated hostel how many outsiders were stationed, how many outsiders were lodged, how many former students were lodged? Because those people had no business being there. If you are a Jadavpur University alumni, it doesn't make you God. You had no business being there inside the university hostel. What was Saurav Chaudhary doing there? What were other students doing there? How did they have access there? How did they have access inside the rooms which are meant for current batch students? Did the university do the survey to figure out if they are doing something wrong, or they were waiting for a death to happen? Have they really woken up from the slumber? And if that is the case, the response suggesting that they have taken proactive measures are they too little and too late. You don't have CCTV cameras. There's not a single CCTV camera here. You don't have CCTV cameras inside the hostel. What is expected from you? You be the CCTV. Did they give a special coordinator to be the eyes and the ears of the university authorities to see if something wrong is happening or to avert something untoward from happening? The answer is a big no. Had they really cared to go inside the hostel to keep a strong vigilance, do you think the outsiders then would have had absolute impunity to stay there? If that is the case, which means university authorities are absolutely ineffective, as good as not being there. So leave and go. Who is asking you to be there? If you're that ineffective, if your presence doesn't make any difference, there is no point staying. So you can't control whether outsiders will have access inside the hostel premises or not. You can't control whether former students would be staying there as illegal occupants. Yet you would occupy chairs and chairs and chairs as part of the larger university authority construct. Why? We have serious doubts on the intention of the university now as whether they have really done enough. The first day when I came, they literally held my hand and said, please do not damage the reputation of the university because we are doing everything possible to ensure the safety and security of students. This is how. Simply by giving them phone numbers. Simply by giving them phone numbers. But have you really inspected the ground situation? And what did you expect? Somebody who has come from a far-flung village to a new setup, to a new atmosphere, will have the audacity, will have the courage, will have all the might to stand up to the might of these former mafias, former students who have been living there as a mafia? You cannot stand up to them. You can't do a sting operation on them. You can't do a proper vigilance over there. You can't assign a proper coordinator who would be staying up the whole night. You couldn't do your job, but you expect a student who has come from a village or far-flung areas to a new setup, still trying to cope up to a new setup, still trying to adopt a new setup, still trying to prove that, look boss, I'm not an outsider. Don't judge me from the prism of a metropolitan city. I might not belong to the metropolitan culture, but I have come to a metropolitan culture with ambition, with dreams. Somebody could be shy. Somebody could be docile. And you wanted them to stand up on their own feet on the first day and revolt against ragging. Realize how much you have failed all these students because you didn't do your part. I'm judging you. I'm judging you because of your response. UGC has judged you that your response was reactive in nature, that you have not really done proactive, not adopted proactive measures. And we are of the same opinion because what measures you have adopted in order to curb the menace of ragging, the answer possibly lies in these documents, documents after documents. More questions would be asked to the university authorities, and these are the documents we have exclusively accessed, and we are just trying to give you a sense as how university possibly has not really done its part, and university cannot shrug off its responsibility. Cannot. Just by giving attendance to some police summon, you cannot shrug off your responsibility. By shedding tears after somebody's death, you cannot shrug off your responsibility. By forming an inquiry committee, again, you cannot shrug off your responsibility. What was your anti-ragging cell doing? How were you vigilant about outsiders going inside the hostel? Again, that's what you should be asked. And most importantly, the funniest thing, Titash, the university did not care to inform UGC that आपने तो बता दिया CCTV लगाने को, पर हमने लगाया नहीं. We have not installed CCTV cameras. अगर ये बता देंगे तो फंस जाएंगे. Affiliation तक cancel हो सकता है, तो नहीं बताए. चुप्पी. हम चुप नहीं रहेंगे. We will not remain silent. We will ask you questions, and we will hold you accountable as why there are no CCTV cameras either inside the hostel premises or inside the university campus. With my colleague Titash Mukherjee and video journalist Ronnie Shatra from inside the Jadavpur University campus, this is Tamal Shah for News the Truth, NTT. Questions would be asked.